With extreme trepidation, you step forward into the room to inspect the 3 mannequins. Your footsteps ring out and echo in the large stone chamber, and your flashlight illuminates the figures. They stand blocking the way to a large gate with a barred door. Each of them has a slot in her chest, as holding her hands out, as if to receive something. You believe that the one on the left represents Aphrodite, the center, Hera with a diadem, and on the right, Athena with a helm. You take out the 3 broken hilts from your coat. Dredging up your memories of Greek mythology, you match each goddess with the symbol on the hilt. Nothing happens as you put them in their outstretched hands, so you take them and one by one place them into the slots of their chest. You're terrified they will come to life, but they remain motionless, even after each hilt clicks into place. Nothing seems to happen, so you place the golden key in the hands of Aphrodite. Still, nothing happens. You take out the eyeball and place it in the hands of the goddess of wisdom. Something makes a loud noise. Everything happens at once. Before you can react, the gate raises itself, and the mannequins change position. Aphrodite and Hera flank the gate with arms crossed, and Athena kneels down and pulls a large blade out of her chest. It's a full sword now, much too long to have been inside her. She seems to be offering it to you. You take the sword with as much dignity as respect as you can manage for the terrified mannequin. Yay, you have a weapon again! Oh! Fuck, it's a lot heavier than it looks. Weren't these things supposed to be light and wieldy? You drag the sword through the gate warily. You are surprised when all 3 mannequins let you pass without attacking. Surprised and almost unnerved. It's a good thing, though. This sword is really heavy. You are mostly having to drag it behind you. It makes an unpleasant grating sound against the stone when you're no longer able to lift it. You head down the dark staircase, peering over your shoulder to make sure they're not following you, but they remain as statues. Once again, you find yourself descending into darkness. It's a long staircase, longer than you would think for a single floor, and it doesn't seem to have brought you to the chapel. No, this place is windowless and stone. It smells of decay and echoes with a dozen small sounds of loneliness and despair. A drip here, the chill hiss of a draft there. The only light is the one in your pocket. There can be no mistake. You are in a crypt. You set the unwieldy sword down as gently as you can, and proceed to check your pockets. They are still filled with stuff, but less stuff than usual. You have your mom's note, your keys, your lighter, your phone, the note in a bottle, last bits of your first aid kit, your smokes, yay, your pocket flashlight, your lighter fluid, James's key fob, the ring box, the wine bottle, the veil, and the note from the scale room. You are glad your coat has so many pockets. Shining your light around the area, you find the walls are lined with large and small indentations, as for candles, or bodies. Well, standing here will get you nowhere. You pick the sword back up and begin a slow walk down what feels like an absolutely interminable corridor. Most of the notches in the wall that shine light in are empty, but for a few cobwebs. After a few minutes of walking in the dark, musty air, you notice a desiccated body, deep in one alcove. Well, as you look closer, it seems to only be a skeleton. That's hardly the most threatening thing you've seen today. However, you probably better get rid of it, just to be safe. With considerable effort, you heft the sword and dunk it against the skeleton. Well, it wasn't much of a blow, but it seems like it didn't need to be much of one. The whole thing comes loudly crashing down, many of the bones falling to dust as they hit the floor. The skull grins up at you, as such things do. You root around to the bones, which continue to splinter under your touch. You pick up the skull. Something seems to be shining inside its eye socket. You shake the skull until the item gets close enough for you to pull it out. It's not an eye, it's a key. This strikes you as an immensely stupid place to put a key. It better be useful and not just some bullshit waste of space in your pocket. You pocket the stupid key and pick the sword back up. It drags behind you as you slog through the dark, oppressive corridor, muttering obscenities under your breath. Finally, after what seems like an eternity, the hall widens and you pass into a lighted chamber. The chamber is huge and lit with flickering candles high on the walls. There are coffins lined up as well, You feel apprehensive, but glad to be somewhere a bit better lit. Then you see it. The center of the room, some kind of dais, is another pair of those mannequins. God damn it. You are so fucking sick of this bullshit. You swear that if you never saw another mannequin again in your life, it would be too soon. You consider for a moment the possibility of putting the sword in the groom's hands. But fuck if you are going to arm your own enemy before exhausting any and all other options. You approach carefully and place the veil delicately on the bride and step away. Nothing seems to have happened, but that tableau does look more complete. You consider giving the bride the engagement ring that you've been wearing since the hotel, but you can't do it. The ring is yours now. You are not giving it to those stupid mannequins. You'd rather risk getting stabbed. You delicately lift up and put the sword in the groom's hands. The groom clicks and lumbers to life, and you get the fuck out of the way. He crashes the blade down onto the bride, impaling her. Somewhere in the room, something else makes a noise. You look over. One of the coffins has swung open. There are stairs leading up. Unfortunately, the groom is standing up and advancing on you with a sword.